Hello and welcome, everybody. My name is Philip, and let's just have an Om here before we begin. And thank you very much for joining this video. Non-duality is something that I'm very passionate about. I have been for over 20 years, and who knows why, but it's something I think about pretty much all the time, no matter where I am, no matter what I'm doing. I guess it's the puzzle that I feel I have to figure out before I leave this planet. So today is actually my 46th birthday, and I just felt to share this with you. I came up with this Non-duality 101, let's say, diagram a few days ago. And basically, these are the main ideas and pointers that tend to float through my consciousness most often. And I just wanted to share them with you because, as Nisargadatta says, we speak about self-realization and non-duality just because it gives us joy. It makes us happy. And of course, I believe it's because we're speaking about our true nature. And so, of course, it makes us happy. And also to realize that there is a way out of suffering. Because ultimately, as Nisargadatta says, I think that's what this is all about. It's suffering, and the end, the cessation of suffering, the reduction of suffering, or total liberation. Finding out who, more importantly, what we are. Discovering our true nature. So with that being said, I'd like to jump right into the diagram. And as you can see from the beginning, I have a Tony Parsons quote: "All there is being." Now, Nisargadatta's book, I Am That, I think I've read it about 10 times. I haven't read it recently, so I can't quote it verbatim. But I believe that I remember Nisargadatta basically speaking about awareness and consciousness and being. So what is awareness? Awareness is obviously that which is aware of life. And this awareness is prior to everything. There's nothing behind awareness, let's say. It's been called the screen, for which the movie is projected upon, or it is the light which shines the movie onto the screen. But awareness does not change. Consciousness, Nisargadatta says, changes all the time. So what are a few things that we are aware of that change? Well, time and space, thoughts, feelings, words, actions, bodily sensations, memories of the past, fantasies for the future. Basically, everything else is changing. So awareness is the space in which everything appears and disappears. Adyashanti says awareness is the context and consciousness is the content. And so, as you can see, I have a circle here. In reality, there's no circle, there's no boundary, there's no limitation to reality. But if you think about this circle as being with a capital B, basically the outside of the circle, let's say, is awareness. It's the context. And everything that's in that circle is the changing consciousness. So I like to say that awareness and consciousness are the two sides of the one coin of being. Ultimately, Nisargadatta says, his most famous teaching or pointer is reside with the I am, dwell with the I am, meditate on the I am. And as you do that, you will continue to come back and back, and you'll notice and realize yourself as this pure awareness or pure consciousness. He does sort of jump around with words. But then he says you can go even beyond that, beyond the awareness, because as you are aware, if you think about being aware of something, there's still a sort of duality there, right? I am aware of consciousness. So there's still an inherent duality within that statement. So what can happen, though, is you can go beyond the awareness, the duality of the awareness and the consciousness, to the pure being. And he says, When you reach that, of course, you can't reach that. The pure being is the void. It's actually a dark void, I believe he calls it. So there's absolutely nothing there, no qualities. You can't speak about it at all because there's really a total annihilation of any sense of self once you have reached being. Of course, language is limited. We can't really speak about it adequately. But I think you get the idea. All right, we're about halfway through. I'm trying to make this a 10-minute video, so let's see how it goes. So let's go down here, and if you see on the left, these are my 3 favorite quotes from Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj. Number 1, God is the totality of consciousness. I mean, that, for me, pretty much sums it up. Again, that's that circle. God is everything. So I have a few sub-quotes, let's say, that also help support this main statement that God is the totality of consciousness. So letter A, God is in everything, and everything is in God. Letter B, God alone exists. Brahman alone is real. Letter C, God is what is. Letter D, God is this. And because I am a big fan of love, God is love. The Christian Bible says this. Many religious texts and spiritual texts say this. Many teachers say this, that basically all there is unconditional universal love, and you are that. Number 2, there is variety. There is difference, of course. Man, woman, black, white, day, night. There is a relationship between these interrelated opposites and a play, a lila. But no separation. No separation. This is oneness, if you will. Of course, Advaita means not two, which is even more accurate to say, because as soon as you say there's one, it implies there might be two. But basically, yes, there is variety, there is difference, because whenever I speak to people about non-duality, they say, wait, I'm not you, you're not me. There is a difference. So yes, of course there's a difference. Of course there's variety, and that's what makes life so interesting, so varied, so rich, because of all the different colors and textures, and that's what makes it beautiful. But there's no separation. There's only one life. There's only this. Okay. Number 3, you are not a person, says Nisargadatta Maharaj. So if you're not a person, what are you? He says, you are the absolute supreme reality. So let's look at this you are not a person thing. I don't like to get caught up in absolutes, ironically, because the more I have studied non-duality, let's say, or spirituality in general, is you can see the paradox of it. It's almost like it's always both. It's neither this nor that. It's always sort of both, right? So I don't argue with people about you are not a person. Yes, you are a person, but we could say that you're more than a person. But that being said, let's go back to this you are not a person and look at these other, this letter A underneath. It says you are not the conceptual self. So you are not the idea that you have of yourself in your mind. You are not a thought, right? You are not the psychological self. Yes, thoughts are appearing and disappearing, feelings, states of mind, psychological issues, all of these things are appearing and disappearing, but awareness, again, is prior to these things. Awareness is watching these things. So there's a little bit of separation in that sense to show that you are not these changeful things that are happening in consciousness. The 3rd sentence, you are not the ego, you are not the mind. Right? You are not a thought. You are the awareness of thought. You are the space in which thought appears and disappears. So I wanted to keep this 10 minutes, and it looks like we're just about at 10 minutes again. So I hope you have enjoyed this. I hope it's been helpful. It makes me happy to share it, so I thank you for watching the video. I guess my last words are just follow your heart with all of this. If any of this interests you, you can meditate upon these things, contemplate them. Just ask yourself. Oh, sorry, we have some pointers on the right. Number 1, form is emptiness. Emptiness is form. You are freedom itself, says Nisargadatta. This is nothing. Appearing is everything, Tony Parsons. This is unbroken wholeness. You are choiceless, effortless awareness, Ramana Maharshi. Awareness is already and always aware. It's always there. It's always present. You are formless, nameless, awake spirit. Okay, thank you so much. And let's see if I can stop this. Yes, I can. Thank you so much, and see you again soon. Bye-bye. Namaste.